Concentration camp isn't a legal term, it's a political one. And these are not politically distinct from concentration camps. These are just concentration camps. A high-profile case. 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos and father returned to Minnesota from ICE facility in Texas. Released following a judge's order. Catherine Schneider, a spokesperson for the Democratic congressman, confirmed the two had arrived home. She said Castro picked them up from Dilley on Saturday night, escorted them home on Sunday to Minnesota. In a statement, Tricia McLaughlin said Immigration and Customs Enforcement did not target or arrest Liam Conejo Ramos, and that his mother refused to take him after his father's apprehension. His father told officers he wanted Liam to be with him, she said. In his order granting the release, U.S. District Judge Fred Bieri blasted the administration, writing, "The case has its genesis in the ill-conceived and incompetently implemented government pursuit of daily deportation quotas, apparently even if it requires traumatizing children." Neighbors and school officials say the federal immigration officers used the preschooler as bait by telling him to knock on the door to his house so that his mother would answer. The DHS has called that description of events an abject lie, as if they can be trusted. I feel like if you're going to use a 5-year-old as bait to arrest his father and then deport him down to Texas, you shouldn't do so while he's wearing like a blue bunny hat and Spider-Man clothes, you know? You've gotta find a less sympathetic looking 5-year-old. You have to find a more evil looking 5-year-old than the one with the cute bunny hat. This is like comically evil. Like, seriously. Find a 5-year-old wearing a balaclava or something. They also claim a man with a crushed skull ran into a wall like a cartoon. ICE claims that immigrant shattered his skull running into wall. I love how this is, I love the title's phrasing. That immigrant, like you're talking to a guy who was just around the corner. Yeah, he said that guy just hit his head on the wall really hard, ran into it, you know? Yeah, you know, it's the guy. Yeah, that. It was laughable if there was something to laugh about, said one of the nurses. There was no way this person ran headfirst into a wall. Injuries appear inconsistent with ICE account. Really? Well, I hope they keep it up, man. They're moving the needle. What more can I say? What more do you, like, what else can you, what more can you say about this stuff? Like, if they're going to be Satan, I guess I'm glad they're doing it openly. I don't know what else you're supposed to get from it. Real acceleration hours? Well, I don't know what the alternative is, man. I don't know what the alternative is. ICE is using former factory towns as detention facilities throughout the Americas. Yeah, we have a term for these. What were once factory towns became prison towns, and now deportation hubs. Where is this from? Equator.org. From Minnesota to Venezuela, Trump is creating a borderless American power. Oh, this writer's got pinions. What is that map? It's an interesting one. It's made to make you think, okay? ICE buys warehouses for mass detention network, rattling locals. Move to acquire industrial buildings in at least 8 states. DHS brought 2 this month, one in Maryland for $102 million and another in Arizona for $70 million. Man, they're really acting like they're still going to be around forever. They need concentration camps. The big bottleneck right now is that no matter how many people they arrest, there is a limit to how rapidly you can deport people. They need, look at this, 920,000 square foot warehouse. Do you have any idea how many tents you could fit in here? At least 10. Warehouse in Oklahoma City hold up to 1,500 people, a little more than a mile from an elementary school and a Pentecostal church. Little more than a mile from an elementary school and a Pentecostal church. Legally distinct from concentration camps? Concentration camp isn't a legal term, it's a political one. And these are not politically distinct from concentration camps. These are just concentration camps. There's no distinction. A third location, previously an auto parts distribution center in Chester, New York, became so unbearably hot during summer months that 2 people who used to work there said it was akin to being stuck inside an aluminum shed.
No ice, no beer! No ice, no beer!
What is being proposed in Chester is up to 8,000 people to be housed in what is currently an old, dilapidated warehouse for Pep Boys auto parts. About the last place you would ever think or want to have any human being be housed. And there's been no details at all shared about what work needs to be done or would be done to make this even somewhat habitable for humans, but there's no insulation, there's not enough utilities, water, sewer. ICE literally described it themselves as, think of Amazon Prime, but for human beings, which
that is true. They were proud of that one. The reason why they're going for warehouses, by the way, when traditionally immigration detention centers have to at least some extent been open air, at least near the border, is because they want to hide the rapes and the murders, which there have been several of even this year, by the way. Probably far more than we're aware of. You know, over 1,000 people disappeared from Alligator Alcatraz. They've been delisted from the DHS's website. They were there, and now they're not, and no one knows where they are. and they're not even officially registered. For all we know, they're in the Everglades.
Which is just a disgusting way to talk about treating humans as if they're animals or packages.
Is this what we want in Chester? No! Is this what Orange County stands for?
No! Oklahoma City managed to scare the landowners into not selling to ICE. Well, that's based. That's pretty based.
Is this what the Hudson Valley stands for? No! Is this what New York stands for? No!
So we first learned about this mass detention warehouse, is what I've been calling it, in December. Sort of a bomb went off metaphorically in the community, and people were like, oh my God, what is going on? At every level of government, village, town, county, state, federal, no one had heard anything from the Trump administration on this at any level. A lot of the Republican opposition to this locally has been around that. A pretty egregious example of the Trump administration doing whatever the heck they want with no regard for a local community whatsoever.
Or like human rights, you know, like the people being detained there. We're fighting like hell to stop the sale of a warehouse down here in Kansas City. During the protest on Friday, they announced the owner of the property's phone number to the crowd, and we all called/texted. Nice. Have there been many leaks from ICE detention centers? Not really. Nobody's allowed in there. Like, legally, Congress people are allowed to go there, but Democrats don't flex that power because they're weak and, collaborationist. Remember, every congressperson has the absolute legal right to observe any federal facility. And they are being, when they try to, they're being denied permission. But they haven't really been trying, you know? They don't push. I thought a judge ruled they're not allowed in. Could you provide that to me? The congressional right of observation is pretty powerful. I would be very surprised if a judge ruled that they were not allowed in. Mixed reaction to warehouse purchased by ICE in the West Valley.
10, mixed reaction in the West Valley tonight over a massive warehouse in Surprise that ICE could turn into a makeshift detention facility.
Questions remain about how the facility might be used and when it could open, but the Washington Post reports that the facility will be used to house 1,500 detainees.
12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk went out to that facility and spoke to those who live nearby.
All throughout the evening, we've seen people driving through in cars, some on bikes, coming to take a look at this new warehouse ICE purchased for $70 million. And tonight, there's no shortage
What's the point of doing this if you're not actually on location?
of opinions about it. It's the size of 7 football fields. ICE hasn't said how it'll be used, but for people living near Dysart Road and Cactus Road, the purchase is raising questions.
As long as it's like secure.
Brittany Thie lives less than 1,000 feet from the warehouse.
The things that have occurred are sad and unfortunate, but like I'm not against it. I'm not 100% in support of it.
Her main concern, whether the
Thank you, median voter.
facility will attract crowds of protesters.
If it gets noisy, that's probably going to be an issue for the neighborhood. We all have kids.
Oh, that's the issue. Not Auschwitz-Birkenau being built like right next to your front door, but if like it would be really inconvenient if if the Red Army moved in and like liberated it. That would be like super annoying. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right, okay, cool. The ovens are too stinky, yeah.
Kids or pets, my dogs are going to go nuts.
But for Marcus Curley, a Native American who lives nearby, this facility represents something more personal.
They're right down from where I live.
He now carries personal documents, including his birth certificate, at all times.
I don't want to end up in jail. Our whole family member. We all went to Staples, got all our records, yep. So we're prepared just in case.
Republican state legislators from the area are backing the purchase. Surprise Representative Nick Cupper said, quote, "If ICE is able to legally run a detention center and enforce immigration laws, I am fully supportive." Republican Majority Leader John Kavanaugh called it, quote, "a great idea because it'll improve enforcement and offer a modern, air-conditioned space for those awaiting deportation or a due process hearing."
Mixed reaction to warehouse purchased by 12 News. Is this the mixed reaction we're looking at?
I'm really
Is the mixed reaction in the room with us right now?
that I'm hearing from Republicans in the area who are excited about having such a massive facility housing the, quote, worst of the worst right in their backyard.
The city of Surprise says it was not notified about the purchase, and federal projects are not subject to local zoning regulations.
Cool.
ICE has not responded to questions from 12 News about whether the warehouse will be used as a detention center or when operations might begin. And there is a protest planned for tomorrow morning here in Surprise at Bell Road and Civic Center Drive. That begins at 9 a.m. and it will focus on this new facility.
God, I hate these people. Oh, there's a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, I guess I expected from the mixed reaction news title that they were going to, like, I don't know. Sure. The closest thing we had to a mixed reaction here was the median voter lady being like, I don't like the smell of the ovens. That might be inconvenient if, like, the wind blows the cremation fumes in my direction. That was the closest we got, really. Article is a map of all the warehouses they've bought. I just refuse to believe there's nothing Congress can do here, man. Nobody linked me, by the way, any article about a judge saying that congressmen cannot use their power of oversight to go into these federal facilities. They're just refusing to. They just don't wanna. The sale in VA was canceled. Yeah. Somebody said earlier. As of 2 days ago as well. Nice. The DHS did issue a memo saying congressmen don't have that right, and they are wrong. It does not matter if they issue that. There is no legally, that's just... That DHS memo has all the weight of a Trump tweet. It means literally nothing. Any congressperson can go to any federal facility and force their way in if they want to. They have the legal right. If they get arrested for it, good, take it to court. They have a legal right to be there. They have the they are as legally entitled to enter those properties as you are your own home. And if somebody stops you from doing that, you can get in anyway. If he wants to take you to court over assault, that's great. Have them explain to the judge why they were keeping you out of your own home. I heard a judge affirm that ICE can ask 2 weeks' notice of congressional reps. Can ask is not the same as they have to respect it. What happened with the cases brought against the reps to win it anyway? Nothing. Because there's nothing they can do once it enters the courts.